All right, here we go. Memorial Day weekend, the unofficial start to summer, but it may not feel like it weather-wise. Thanks again for joining us at 6 a.m. I'm Anna Laurel.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol. Netta and Eric have the weekend off. Monday is going to be colder than cities like Seattle and Boston. Can you believe it? If you're visiting San Diego, apologies. It's tough to hear. Evan has had a pretty mundane job giving us the same forecast over the last 2 weeks, and it continues, right, Evan? But you still... We're bringing our own sunshine in the studio.
We're trying our best.
Right.
I'm still trying to keep it fun,
You
innovative,
do.
smiling as much as I can.
Look at that smile.
Getting those pearly whites in. Hey, here is the promising sight that we have for you, which is a beautiful sunrise. Mount Soledad showing the array of clouds as we start off the morning. It was technically 15 minutes ago, but we're not seeing a ton of the blue. We are, however, not seeing any fog either, so that's a promising thing. Those foggy mornings do tend to lead to a long duration of the cloud cover. Looks like today we'll get some of the sunshine by the afternoon. Just got to deal with the morning clouds. Temperatures in the 60s, cooler than normal. We'll talk about how long this trend will last if we see any end in sight. Can't really give you an end date right now because it seems like those clouds are going to be hanging on for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, and we would hold you to it, Evan. When is it ending? The unofficial start of the summer travel season is here. AAA projects nearly 3.5 million Southern Californians will hit the road and the sky for Memorial Day weekend.
And this morning, San Diego International Airport is expecting a Memorial Day travel rush. That's where we find CBS 8's Chris Groh. Chris, what do travelers need to know before heading out the door this morning? We know that there's also a lot of construction going on that could cause some delays even getting into the airport.
Yeah, and I apologize if I seem a little distracted here. I'm just taking notes on traveling with young children here. We've got a family just behind the camera with what appears to be a toddler and 3 months? 10 months. I'm not very good at guessing ages here, but with my first on the way, I got to take notes here on how to travel with children. But for those of you at home, make sure that you're taking notes on how to get to the airport, especially during this busy travel season. San Diego International Airport, they're saying, look, things are going to be busy, things are going to be chaotic, so best to be prepared.
Last year was very busy, and this year we expect it to be even busier. We want people to be precautious when they get here and to plan ahead and to come prepared to see a little extra congestion.
You guys did indeed help, and we're trying to help you guys at home right now because according to the San Diego International Airport, they do expect this to be one of the busiest travel weekends since 2005 and definitely the most busy since before the pandemic. So what we are looking at is finally getting back to normal before 2019. And so with that, as Dana Marie, you mentioned there, we are going to have quite a bit of traffic because not only of the amount of people, but also that Terminal 1 construction that's still ongoing. Harbor Drive is going to be congested. It's going to be packed. So if you are coming to the airport, give yourself an extra 20 to 30 minutes, maybe even more, just so that you are getting out here early. Then, if you're going to be driving, AAA says check your car, right? Make sure that your tires are well inflated, check that tread, make sure you get that rotation before the last second. Check your fluids too, oil changes, and if you've got an EV, make sure that that battery is charged as well too. Now, something that we're keeping an eye on, because traveling these days, unfortunately, there is a bit of chaos that sort of randomly gets thrown in. We're checking to make sure what cancellations are looking like. We know that staffing has been an issue at several airports across the country. So far, things have been going pretty well here right now. We haven't seen any of those big, long lines on social media or even there inside from TSA. And so far, hey, we are not seeing mass cancellations, right? So, look, we know that things are going to be busy, but if they can get it done, if this family can get it done, anybody can get it done, guys. Traveling with young children, traveling with lots of bags, getting it done.
Thinking the same thing, Chris. Buy that mom some coffee for sure. All right, let's talk about the roads this weekend. According to AAA, most people are planning to travel by car. They believe more than 37 million drivers will be on the road around the country. The good news, though, for your gas tank, gas prices are lower compared to last year. The national average topped $4 a gallon. Of course, it's a little higher in San Diego. Check this out, $4.86 a gallon. But look at the numbers from last year, $6.02 a gallon we were paying this time last year. And if you're planning to drive, keep these dates in mind. AAA expects today between 3 and 6 this afternoon. That's going to be the busiest time on the road. Saturday and Sunday, they're forecasting minimal traffic impact. Monday will be busy with everyone headed home, and actually Tuesday is supposed to be the busiest travel day home. When it comes to heading home, AAA recommends leaving before 2 p.m. Tuesday or after 6 p.m. That window between 4 and 6 is expected to be the busiest. If you plan to leave on Memorial Day, AAA recommends heading out before 10 a.m. so you can't even sleep in if you want to try to miss the traffic. This morning, veterans and active military members can fill up their gas tanks for free. Honda is hosting the giveaway at Circle K on Camino Ruiz in Mira Mesa from 10 a.m. to noon. Veterans and military members, they must present a valid ID. Honda drivers also qualify, but remember, this is first come, first serve, so 10 to noon.
Well, this morning, the man suspected of shooting and killing another man outside the San Diego Central Library is in jail. 21-year-old Kenneth Cheney was arrested near University Avenue by the 15 in City Heights yesterday. The shooting happened Tuesday. Police say there was some sort of confrontation over an allegedly stolen backpack. Police say Cheney pulled out a handgun and began firing, killing 20-year-old Trey Walker. Another 24-year-old man was also hit but is expected to survive. And this morning, a man is in custody after police say he shot at his neighbors in Lemon Grove. He also barricaded himself inside his home for hours. This happened on Longdale Drive yesterday. The standoff lasted about 7 hours until the 28-year-old man surrendered. Deputies tell us the man is a military veteran and he was armed with an AR-15. They tell us he was suffering from a mental health crisis. Deputies say a neighbor was hit with a bullet fragment but is expected to be okay.
New this morning, a tenant protection ordinance is now law in the city of San Diego. Mayor Todd Gloria signed it yesterday, and it takes effect in 30 days. One major change will affect tenants who are evicted at no fault of their own, like if their landlord is doing a renovation. The new law will require landlords to pay tenants they evict 2 months' rent, 3 months for seniors and people with disabilities. Right now, state law allows for 1 month. Right now, first responders at San Diego beaches are getting ready for the busy holiday weekend. Lifeguards and police want to remind everyone, alcohol, glass, smoking, none of that's allowed at the beach. Bonfires are also banned in the city of San Diego unless they're in a designated pit. And as always, it's best to check in with lifeguards about rip currents. Coming up later this hour, we'll have some pool safety tips for families also.
It's so important to be safe at the beach. Make sure you're watching your kids. Always be in front of lifeguards. You never want anything dangerous to happen in those waters, especially when it's also cold out. Make sure your kids are not with those purple lips.
That's right. You're saying to take another layer.
I'd say just to be safe, you know, you never really realize how cool it is until you get there.
Yeah, it's always
and
cooler
you wish
there,
you had
too.
another jacket.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh, I forgot to bring the jacket. What do I do now? So bring the jacket, have it with you at least just in case. And at least if you're going out there in the morning or afternoon, especially, that's when those clouds are very prevalent. That's when the cooler temperatures are out there. We're right now mostly in the upper 50s with dense cloud cover stretching toward the western slopes of the mountains. Today's forecast shows 60s are as warm as we're going for. 64 along the coast, 67 inland across the mountaintops, going for a high of 61 degrees, and your deserts low 90s out there. Clouds, well, we have a little indication that they may be breaking apart sooner than they did yesterday, and yesterday we had plenty of afternoon sun, so that is the hope for the forecast today. However, we have to keep in mind that over the course of Saturday and Sunday, this same pattern is going to repeat itself. We're not going to have every morning with low clouds, but today is one of those examples where those clouds are still out there, but we're actually already starting to see some of them break apart a bit, which is a very promising sight. Could be shaping up to be a gorgeous Friday, as opposed to, say, what we saw on Wednesday, where that dense layer of overcast skies stuck around through noon, through 1 p.m. We already have indication here that these clouds are breaking apart. Temperatures outside, 50s. 59 for Carlsbad, 58 for Del Mar, 56 for Poway right now, and 52 in Alpine. Palomar Mountain is only 3 degrees away from freezing, so you can see how over the mountaintops we're struggling through some cooler temperatures. Weekend temperatures along the coastline are going to be in the mid-60s, and we've got mostly cloudy skies. What that means is AM clouds and PM sun. So Depending on what time you're out there along the coast, you could be struggling through the cloud cover. But if you're in the afternoon, evening hours, you might encounter just a bit of that sunlight peeking through. Now for traffic, here's a look at the border wait times from the CBP website. 80 minutes for the general line at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. 15-minute wait for the Otay Mesa Port of Entry as you head through your morning commute. Back to you.